Hey everybody, it is Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. And I have this cheapy plastic car that my little boys had it from some, it was from some set or something, and at one point in history, and now it has come into my possession as scrap. So it's not very big. It is just about 3 inches long. So what I was thinking is I could make this into a little truck, a little tank, track vehicle for my game. So I'm going to try to get these wheels in place first so they don't move. And that will make them easier to work on. Once they're sturdy and in place. There we go. And then I need some cardstock to make tracks for them. Did I bring any cardstock down? Yeah. We're good. I got a box of cinnamon protein Cheerios here. I'm just cutting the side off of this to use to make my track. And then this has a little folded over piece. We'll see if we can get that off the best we can. Just don't really need that. That's just making it unnecessarily thicker than it needs to be. Okay, it's not going to work. No problem. We'll just use that for a straight edge for cutting. We'll cut this off. Oh, it's cold as shit down here. And then I'm just going to measure out my tracks. Could be vaguely that big. One. I'm just eyeballing that. That's not perfectly flush, parallel, among other things. I'm going to get another one cut vaguely the same size. 2 of those. Okay. Let's curl these. We'll start at the top. We'll get this flush and flat on there like that. Okay. Then we're going to wrap this around like this. Just like that. Okay. And then we're going to get some glue under there. And we're going to wrap this around. Finish it off. Let's try to line that up perfectly. It's really close. Okay, so there's one. side of my track. And 2. Okay. I'll snip it off. Put it right there. There we go. Wrap that around. Let's try to get that to where it cuts off even again like the other side did. That was pretty easy for us. So I'm just gonna snip it. Okay. Something like that. Okay. Then we need a spacer for the body, just to hold this above the tracks. So anything small could work good for this. A couple pieces of cardboard will really do the trick. Let's see what I can do. Have that. Let's get that on there, sturdy, like that, and that should keep it elevated. And then let's make a bunch of thin pieces to go on our tracks, and we're going to make these a little bigger than normal, than I normally would. So I'm going to start in the middle. I'm going to shove it on there, just like that. Slip off my excess. We'll do one up here, just the same way, just like that. One in the middle of that. Just like that. Back here on the edge again. And you can see what I'm doing. You could probably skip ahead a couple minutes. I'm just kind of guessing the distance and getting a couple more on there. I lost my piece. There it is. And I'll get one on the front here. Okay, that did not work like I wanted it to. Where's my burner at? There it is. Okay. And we're going to play the same game over here. and hope it works out perfectly yet again, because that was just dumb luck. Something fell somewhere off behind me to my left. Makes me slightly nervous. I didn't want this to have to be on a base because of how much space it takes up on the tabletop. So I'm trying to do it without a base, and I hope that I can keep it, you know, looking pretty good without. And if I have to base it, which I don't think I will, I'm going to try not to make it exceptionally top heavy. Okay, so my bottoms are looking pretty good. I need to fix that up a little bit. That's not super sturdy looking. So all I'm going to do is throw some extra card on here to sturdy that up. Just to make sure that doesn't come off. Okay, that's all I did. This looks like it's sitting pretty flush, a little bit wobbly. There's a bump right here. Okay, no problem. I know how to fix that. Better. All right, so we want the structure up here to be something that looks decent and is kind of interesting, but isn't like overwhelmingly a big deal. And I want to use some of this stuff as part of the initial construction or part of the design too. So I just want to make a platform for this first. So to do that, I'm going to get a piece of coffee box. About yay wide. Almost as wide as the whole construction, really. Okay. And I'm going to get glue here. Just like that. I'm trying to center that up the best I can. I'll let that sit for a moment. Then that's going to give me the opportunity to mount something like this on here in some form. I'm not sure how yet, But anyways, let's get some sides going. So to get my sides going, let's get some cardstock. And I want to make a few of these, roughly the same size. Okay. This is going to be pretty easy to do. I'm just going to stick that on there like that. I'm going to stick that one forward a little bit. Same thing here. Same deal. Just making that on there. I'll snip that off. And I want this one to go down like that one. So all I'm going to do is eyeball that the best I can. Okay. And then I have another piece here. It's going to be my back piece. And then just make sure that stays sturdy. I'm just going to get the tiniest bead of glue in there and just shove it into those corners just like that. And let that cool. Okay. Then I need to fix my front up, and to do that, something like that. Snip these off the edge. Let me get a tiny bit of glue in that gap on the inside there. Sweet. Now I want something that kind of sticks up in front of that. This is just a little bit too wide. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick that in there. Just like that. Push it into place. Get all my glue to stick. And then I'm going to come back here. Make sure it's going to stick on the inside there. Just like that. Okay. Then I want to sturdy that up with just a bead, glue, like that. So I need this to be 2 inches wide for 2 miniatures to sit in it. And I was just eyeballing it and assuming it was 2 inches wide, and it looks like it is 2 inches wide. So 2 people could sit there and drive it. And I need a back support area here. This is not the piece I had, is it? Maybe it is. So to make sure that fits how I want it to, I'm just gonna freestyle. Oh, it's too narrow. No problem. Okay, I want to make sure it's just a little bit yet too wide. Okay, I'm going to get one guy to kind of be my gauge here to make sure I don't go too far up, so that 2 minis can fit in there. I'm going to snip some of this off. Just like that. Still sticking up a little bit. Okay. Make sure my mini's gonna fit. Okay. Okay, let that sit for a minute. Get that flushed out. Okay, get that flushed out. And tweezers. Get this piece out of here. And this is a little high on this side. Alright, cool. Now I had some small straws that have been missing for a while that would have been perfect for this next part. I don't know what happened to them, so I'm going to have to figure out something different. I wish I knew where those little straws were. They were perfect for this kind of shit, and I lost them. Oh. What is that, miniatures? Oh, it's miniatures. Yeah, I don't know what happened to those little straws. I looked for them the other day and didn't see what I did with them either. They're somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. I don't know. Little straws, you're done and gone. I can't find you, my heart is broken. So what I'm going to do, since I can't find those, is I'm going to just use some of this. I'm just going to come over here and make sure I grab it on the outside so there's none of that sticking up. I'm going to shove it in place. I'm going to snip off the butt. Just like that. Okay. Then on the outside here, I'm just going to run a little, really thin, little bead. Hold that in place. Let's do the same thing here. Just be real careful. Okay. I'm going to run a really thin bead here. this the piece I shot? No. Okay. Then I want this to fit in here. We'll dry fit it to make sure it still goes in. It's a little bit big. No problem. Get a nice dry fit. Okay. Maybe one more for the front. And one for there, really, I guess. This is just going to give it a little bit of a different look and sturdy it up some. And I'm just dry fitting everything before I glue it in place permanently. That's all I'm doing there. Okay. Just get everything where you want it. I got some extra glue fluff around. Just gonna melt it all, burn it and melt it and melt it and burn it. Okay, something like that. It's pretty decent start up there for a vehicle. This is going to be like a truck bed where you can fit, obviously, you could shove 4 people in there if you wanted to. You know what I mean? I assume you could shove 4 in there. It looks like you could. It was 3 inches. Yeah, just over 3 inches, so you could fit 4 in there. And now we can kind of add some stuff. I had that one plastic piece laying here that I wanted to use, kind of. And I'm not sure what I want to use this for, but what I'm going to do, snip off this piece. I want to kind of mount that somehow to this front. I don't know if I need to. I just feel like it would be cool. Well, it would be cool to have a cow catcher on here too, though. Does that snap right off? Oh, it does snap right off. Look at that shit. Just what we needed to. We got to get that off of there a little bit. We just need something to bring that out a little bit. Any kind of piece of junk would do the job. Not that. That is not the piece of junk that would do the job. We could just put it on here directly. Okay. Here's the plan. We have this screw piece. We will cut that off. And we'll glue this on here. Then we will catch it on that edge and glue it into place like that. So once we get that centered pretty well, looks pretty centered. We'll hold that there for a moment. That'll be the front. We're going to need a piece of plastic to fit back here to be the windshield. Let's wait till we paint it to get that to figure that out. All right, so now let's do something with the sides so they're a little more interesting. And all I'm going to do is try to hide my glue smears with some panels. Okay, so I'm just going to get this like that. Center that on there a little bit. Just like that. Let's do another one right here. Okay. And we'll just snip off the excess like that. Let's do one on this side. Yeah, let's get another one. And just get another little extra layer of excitement for the build. Like that. I'd kind of like to have something on the front here that makes this a little more interesting. I'm not sure what to use, but I have this. That's not the right way. Let's get this. Oop. Okay, that's two. Then I want to do like a panel on the back a little bigger. So I guess I want to kind of catch something about like this. Need another glue stick, it looks like. Okay. Something like that. And what can we do with this thing? Can we add this anywhere else to make this interesting? Maybe we can add it there. Okay, we need something here to space that out. And my friend the bead will do a nice job. Thank you, my friend the bead. Okay. So I want this to fit evenly across the back there. Okay. Like that. Get a little bit of bead there. Ah, bastard. All right. Now, how do the people get it on and off? We don't know yet. We need to maybe cover up our treads, our tank treads, so they're safe, so the sides don't get beat up. I think that we can do that pretty easy. I had some plastic sports. These that I got at one of those, like every day it gets $1 cheaper kind of places. So I got a bunch of these for $1. I think these will do nicely. What I'm thinking is something like that. Okay. When I look outside my window, it's strange, so strange. You got to pick up every stitch. Oh no, this is the season of the witch. Oh, that's a little boring and ugly looking there. And I also have some loose stuff here, so what I'm going to do is just carefully get some glue there, get some glue there. Let's just make sure this never comes loose with some weld lines. And then we need to put something flush up there to cover this. So probably popsicle sticks would be easy to use, or straws. Straws would be good looking. So we just want to come kind of to the front and to the back, find a spot in the middle there where we can get a good bond. Put that straw on there. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Just kind of get it in the middle there so it bonds it all together. And we're going to come to the front and to the middle, get it in place. Now, one thing I did notice is that I just have my crinkly part here. So what I'm going to do to compensate for that is cut these down at an angle, just like that. I'm going to get a little glue inside this to kind of fill that up. Sturdy that up a little bit. Something like that. I don't know how sturdy the sides are, so I'm just going to get a bead of glue there too. Okay, so basically at this point I can hold 6 minis. I don't want a hot glue gun or a hot air gun, or I'm sorry, I don't want to use a blowtorch on this now because I don't want this coming apart. I don't think any of this really needs super glued, but just to make sure that we don't have any problems down the road, what I am going to do is I'm just going to get a little bit in certain spots, like for example, oops, I'm spilling on the thing. I want to make sure I get my tracks, my treads. Okay. I had a brush I was using earlier. It'll do nicely for this kind of stuff. I'm also going to use that to try to grab some of these spider webs while I'm at it, you know. Let's see. Can't really get too many spider webs with that like I was hoping I could. But you know what? If there was no super glue on it, I could use a toothbrush and it would get those. So to paint this, I want to put it on a rod or something. So let me see what I got. Oh, just to make my life a little easier, I want something I can kind of put up in here and hold it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this brush. I'm going to snip the back of this off once I find my cutters. I'm going to get my super glue put away. I'm just going to throw a dab of glue on that. I'm going to shove it in that orifice until it holds. I'm using a pair of child's underwear that they've grown out of. I'm going to clean up that super glue. And let's think about painting this thing. Set that there for a minute. I'll be right back. Oh, this paint is clogged. Hold on. Oh, we're going to use semi-gloss, I think. What's this here? Satin. We use satin. All right, I got it pretty well black bombed, but I noticed that I can't work on it right now. I have to actually take a little break and come back for a part 2. So there it is, just black bombed, and when I come back, we'll paint it up. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, leave a comment, and I'll be back as soon as humanly possible. I'll see you next time.